Hi everyone, my name is Teacher Brian. Today I would like to give you some tips, and these tips can help you to improve your grades, and they can also help you to watch out for some common mistakes that students make. So my first tip today is don't worry about mistakes. Okay, everyone makes mistakes in their test. And you should try not think about the mistakes you make, but you should rather focus on speaking very clearly and answering the questions in the test. Okay, so don't worry about any mistakes you make. The second tip I'm going to give you is to say names slowly. When you are speaking about yourself or introducing yourself in the test, try to say your name very slowly. And if there's someone else you are talking about, try to say their name slowly too. The third point is trying to avoid slang and informal language. So in this part, try not to use any words that maybe you use in daily conversation but are not really formal English. Okay, so try to only use professional and correct English. Then, try not to use any difficult words or vocabulary, or maybe even phrases that you don't really understand. Okay, and this is a very common mistake. Many students think that if they use difficult words and difficult phrases, they can get higher grades. And that's true, but only if you use the phrases and vocabulary correctly. Alright, so the examiner is going to listen to make sure that you're using all words and all vocabulary correctly. If you don't really know how to use a word, I suggest that you don't use this word in the test. Next, we're going to look at how the test is structured. Okay. Now, in part 1 and part 2, you will be given questions and you will be given a topic to speak about. So you can't ask any questions. Alright. But in part 3, because it's a two-way discussion, you can ask questions, especially if you don't understand what the interviewer is saying. So, part 1 and part 2, no questions. But part 3, you can ask questions if you don't understand. Alright, another good tip I can give you is try not to change the topic. Okay. In part 2, you will be given a topic to speak about. Okay. And try not to change this topic when you are talking. If you don't know too much about the topic, maybe you can speak about something related to the topic. Okay. And if you do speak about something that is related, try to explain the connection between what you are talking about and the topic. So, don't change the topic. And then the second last tip is try not to memorize answers. Okay. If you try memorize an answer, maybe the examiner will hear the sentence sounds a bit strange, or it sounds memorized, or it doesn't sound very natural. And then maybe the examiner will ask you some more questions, just to make sure that you understand what you're talking about. So don't try to memorize questions. And if you do memorize questions, the examiner will probably take away some points. Alright, and then finally, when you are practicing for the test, try to speak within the time. So, I recommend you take a watch and you time yourself and make sure that you stay within the time for each part. Okay, I hope that all these tips will help you, and I wish you the best of luck for your IELTS speaking test. Thank you very much for listening to me, and all the best and good luck. Bye-bye.